this is the UVs we use for determining some concentration or to determining some absorbance of light of some certain chemicals. First, before we start, we first start this instrument and do a 15 minutes warm-up before we do any measurement. In order to find the app for it, we go to the icon called Carry VUV, and then inside it, there's a scan. We click on scan. The app will pop out. And close this. Now it's offline because there is time needed for this computer to build a connection with the instrument. It's online now. Generally, it takes this procedure takes maybe 10 to 20 seconds. The first step is to go to Setup. We click the Setup button here, and then click on Carry Options. The default value is from 800 nanometer to 200 nanometer. We keep this value, and we can also adjust the average time and scan rate to adjust the time needed for each scan. Here we are taking the default values, and in advanced settings, we just use the default settings here, and in baseline, we select baseline correction. That means we will need to put a baseline for the chemical we want to measure in our samples. In the accessory, and we don't put any accessory here, so we can ignore this. And into the report section, you can select the options you like in this section. After all this is done, we click on OK to apply the settings. Now, a pop-up window shows the baseline information. Let's click on OK. Just wait for everything to be enabled. Here, since the absorbance here is already 0.08, it's already almost 0. So this means we don't have to zero it. We can do a baseline by inserting. We can do a baseline by inserting just a pure water. And now we click on baseline. Click on OK. It will start the baseline. Since we selected a scan time of 600 nanometers per minute, so in this time, the scan needed to get from 800 nanometer to 200 nanometer will take us about 1 minute. Generally, if you want to get a very precise UV results at a lower wavelength, like in the 200 to 300 region, you need to use a quartz cuvette instead of these plastic cuvettes, because in these plastic cuvettes, it is not transparent to the UV light in this region, although our eyes identify this as transparent. After the baseline, we insert a real sample inside it. Since this is for demo, I'm inserting water again. And close it. And we click on Start. And there will be a window for file name, we can call it water dash test dash 0604, which is the date of today. Click on save. Now in sample 1, click on OK. The scan will start. You may wonder why you couldn't see the lines here. It's easy. You just need to click on this skew graph, and in the Y mode, you do the first one you do a point minus 0.1, and click on OK. Then you can see this line. Because why we couldn't see it is because it was covered by the x-axis. We can see the red line is the current line. We can see that the measured sample, the absorbance is 0. That means this sample is 0 difference compared with our baseline sample. Then if we have more samples, we click on OK and replace samples. If not, we click on Finish. Now we have the curves, and we can select this curve and save it through File and export data or export reports, CSV files to whatever you want. I think this is pretty much about the basic scan function of the UV-Vis.